According to the Mayo Clinic, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance and a deep need for excessive attention, admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. If you've grown up in a narcissistic family or have been around some narcissistic people or friends, you'll often feel like nothing you say has value. Your life is not that interesting. You might feel like you don't have value. You feel guilty for setting boundaries. Everybody else's needs are more important than yours. And there's a lot more things that can happen when you're around narcissistic people, but I'm gonna make a whole separate video about that to really go into it. This time, I wanna go in depth about something that happens with certain narcissistic people that is more common than we think. We just don't realize it. And I know because it happened to me. And I want to share my experience and my story about narcissistic identity theft. Yes, it's real. I've had it. I've experienced it. If you have too, please leave it in the comments below. But there are some narcissists that fall in the narcissistic personality disorder that feel that the world is lacking, that they don't feel that there's enough to go around for everybody. When there aren't enough resources, they have to take it from somebody else. And so not only that, but some narcissists also don't have like a solid identity. And again, I'm gonna go more into narcissists themselves in a separate video. Here, I just wanted to talk about narcissistic identity theft. And these type of narcissists that feel that their identity isn't solid or their resources are not enough, they will try to take it from you if they are close to you, if they see you as competition or somebody with lots of resources. And if this ever happens to you, let me tell you, like, I did not handle it well. I thought that it was the end of the world. I didn't know what to do. I thought they were coming for me and I was done. That's it. But it's not like that at all. It's actually very manageable and very mild if you really do these steps. And this is what I wish I had done when this happened to me. But please, please, please learn from my experience. Here's how I should have handled it, and here are the keys that you can learn from it. And not only that, I will go over what actually happened so that you get an understanding of a real life example. So I'm gonna dive right into my story and what exactly happened to me and how I handled it, which wasn't great, but I learned from that. And I took away all of the things that really would have made the situation easier, because if this ever happened to me again, I would be very prepared. I had a friend who came down to live with me, and she had to start over. She was starting her life over. She just left a bad relationship, whatever. It was strange because we were friends and I never thought of myself as like the cool girl. But as you'll come to learn, and if you've already read about narcissists, you know that their inflated ego actually comes from a very, very low self-esteem. So they think everybody in a way is better off than they are right now. And this was the type of person who they tried to take something from others if they felt like they were themselves lacking. And of course she was, because she was starting over. Like, she had no job, no social life, no meaning, no relationship, nothing. I tried to help this person out as much as possible. I really was keeping some kind of distance because I got the feeling that, yes, she was a little jealous, and I felt it as a person that, you know, I shouldn't brag or I shouldn't talk about my life so much, so I just listened to her. What else? I did my best to help them, but I wasn't very, I guess, like, I wasn't very, what's the word? happy about it. I was just kind of like doing it to help them out because they asked, but I didn't really feel like I could trust this person. I had a bad feeling from the beginning. I thought they were using me or something. So I never really let them in emotionally. And I think they felt that. They truly, truly felt rejected by me, and they felt like they weren't liked by me. So I think that definitely didn't help. That made them retaliate even more. I remember one of the first things I did is I got her an internship in film because I was at the time filming a paranormal show and my friends were casting me as one of the main characters, and I knew she wanted to be in film, so I got her an internship exactly in film so she could build her rep here where she was starting over. I also presented her, like introduced her to all of my friends. I wanted her to have like some kind of network here so she didn't feel alone, even if it wasn't with me necessarily, but at least she would have some friends that, you know, she could hang out with. I even found her a job, which at the time was like very, very difficult because she didn't necessarily have the best, I guess, job experience or history. So I got her a job through connections, and my best friend at the time worked at the place. We also didn't see anything wrong with her working right next to my best friend at the time because they're both my friend. Why would there be any issues? So this was a long time ago. That's why I don't remember it exactly, but I do know that when she ditched me for staying home or just saying, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm still at work. It happens so often, like again, on things like my birthday, hanging out, when I was introducing her to some guy or whatever. I should have realized like her self-esteem just wasn't there yet. Like she wasn't ready to come out with me. She wasn't ready to put herself through that. And a lot of narcissists don't. They're something they're really good at is setting boundaries. So they will not put their self-esteem at risk because it's already so fragile. So key number one is understand that it is a personality disorder, okay? It is a real thing, okay? Just know it in your mind and look at them with a clinical eye and say to yourself, okay, she's not doing this to me personally. She has a personality disorder. Like, this isn't my fault. This isn't even her fault. She could have just been born with this disorder. We don't know what causes it yet. So instead of seeing it as her ditching me, you can see it as this is just part of her disorder and nothing against me at all. Number one, understand that it is just a disorder that they're having. They're not trying to personally attack you. Once you fully commit to that and commit to that knowledge, you don't need to validate that thought with anyone because you already fully believe it in yourself. So key number two is don't ever, ever, ever let them know that you know that they have this disorder, okay? They will either change your mind, like for real, or attack. Because I remember I called her out on some of her behavior as selfish or self-centered, and she went right back with, why are you perceiving it that way? I think you might just be crazy, and made me really truly feel crazy about it. So to this day, she has never admitted ever, guys, that she missed all those things on purpose, or she still says that it was all an accident. It was just coincidence that she couldn't make it. Or everything else that followed, which is her behavior, she still denies it, that it never happened, even though other people saw it. Okay, so after the whole ditching, this is where the real theft comes in. So I had decided to take a coding class because I needed to, at the time, to learn coding, like HTML, CSS, basics, and I thought this was really going to help me out in my career. Why not? she ended up asking me where I was studying, and she ended up being obsessed with finding that out, like obsessed. So she would ask other people to ask me where I was studying because she needed to sign up, as if this was like a magical solution to her not having a job, even though she had studied a full career. She had, a different field before that. Like I said, film, nothing in marketing, nothing in coding. And I don't understand why she wanted to sign up. She'd never been interested in coding. Whatever. I just took it with a grain of salt. It happens. She's trying to start over. Who cares? So I let it go. But then there were other things that, when taken all together, guys, it was narcissistic personality theft. She was telling me how she had become such good friends with my best friend, her new job that she found, which, by the way, yes, I definitely was the only reason she was hired. This was confirmed by her boss. So she would say every day after work, her and my best friend would go to the gym together, and they would laugh and talk and chill and hang out, and she never invited me to these things, and I was okay with it because I heard about it from my best friend anyway. And it almost seemed like she was throwing it in my face. Like, there wasn't a friendly, let me tell you a story. It was just, let me go on and on and on about how I'm so close with your best friend. Because, yeah. Is there any other reason to go on and on? I didn't ask what you were doing, so that was weird. Let's see what else. And when I was dating someone new at the time, I was, playing the field, going out on the prowl. I was dating a couple guys at the time, and whenever, in the beginning, when she would come out with me and I would bring them around, she would only focus on them. And I know that this seems really crazy, but like, this did happen, guys. Like, she literally, like, we would be at a club and she only talked to the guy that I was interested in. She wouldn't talk to their friends. She wouldn't talk to their, like anyone else trying to meet someone new. If we were at a party, she only talked to the guy that I was interested in, that I had brought to the party. There were other friends that she could have gotten along with. It wasn't just my guys. There were other guys, other women. She could have easily struck up a conversation. I introduced her to everybody. But she would overly laugh at any of their jokes that were not funny, in my opinion. One guy, one date, actually came back to me and said, like, I don't know why, she just started talking to me, and I think she was really trying to impress me for some reason. And I just went with it. But I am not sure why, I think one of them was actually trying to get back to talk to me, and then she wouldn't let them. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So I don't remember exactly what they said, but they did notice that she was really, really trying hard to impress them. Very few of my friends, when they saw her act that way or when she was at a party, very few people noticed. So I know I overreacted. I know that there was nothing evil. It was just me, like, just thinking that she's out to get me. And, even though there was no proof, and she never actually accomplished separating me from my best friend. She never accomplished, like, signing up for my class even, or stealing any of the guys that I was dating. I didn't have proof. She didn't text them, like, privately or anything. But you have to, this is key number 3. Okay, we're on key number 3. Because the first one was, no, it's a disorder, and don't take it personally. And 2 was, once you know it, don't tell them. 3 is ATYG. Always trust your gut. Your gut will tell you if there's something sketchy going on. Like, you have to trust your own feelings, validate your own feelings. If you think this person has an agenda, they probably do. When you know that this is happening and she's having an intent of committing narcissistic identity theft, if you want to tell someone, it can only be like your people you trust, like your best friend or your date that you really like if it's your boyfriend, but do not tell the whole world. I messed up on this one big time because she became everything I ever talked about, and I was obsessed because I was terrified. I was deeply terrified of what was happening to me. I thought I was the girl in the movie, like The Roommate, with I think Leighton Meester or whatever. I'm like double checking that right now because I really don't. It's an old movie. I love Leighton Meester, by the way. She's a great actress. But yeah, I thought she was trying to like hack my life and just put my dead body in the closet and be me. So I was terrified, and because I cried wolf so many times, people were like, okay, she's crazy. This girl's crazy. Why would somebody be trying to steal her identity? This makes no sense. So no one believed me. Well, okay, not no one. My best friend did believe me because she saw it, and then one of my dates. So it's like very few people saw it, and those are the people I should have trusted in the first place, because then eventually she found out what I was thinking, and this broke key number 2, which is don't let them know that you know. The truth is that nobody can take away something that is meant for you. Nobody can take that away, and I should have been more confident. Not only that, I should have been kind to this person, because deep down, they feel like they're missing something. They feel so insecure and so sad and alone. And if you show them a little bit of kindness and a little bit of acceptance, they're your friend for life. Like, they really appreciate it for life. And if I'd have shown her some genuine love and genuine friendship, not just rejecting her, but giving her opportunities, but also rejecting her at the same time, she probably would have like never gone after my dates, but that is if I kept a healthy distance. You have to set boundaries, okay? And that's key number 4. Setting boundaries is epic. You have to, because even if you show them kindness and love, they're really unpredictable. So maybe they'll just create an awkward situation, and then you don't want to be in that. It's uncomfortable. I didn't handle it the best way. I regret that, but at the same time, it's the only way I knew at the time of how to defend myself from this, of how to protect my identity from this, because who knows, maybe if I had fully, completely trusted her, I wouldn't have set any boundaries at all, and she would have caused a really weird situation between me and my best friend at the time, or my date. She would have really like hurt me. So I, again, like, not the best way to handle it, but it protected me. It kept me safe. Now, this was a partially traumatic experience for me, that's for sure, especially the part of no one, or at least most people, not believing me. Who were really close to me at the time. I lost some friendships because of this. Yeah, that's my story of my experience with narcissistic identity theft, and I hope that this helped. And if you did like it, I'm gonna be making more videos about this. If this has ever happened to you, please comment below, and be sure to subscribe, okay? Because I'm gonna make a lot more content.